Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome here to the GoBowling.com at the Glen, race number 21 of the debut season of the PCSRA Winston Cup Series. After today, we have 5 more races left to go to determine the 16 drivers that battle out in this season's chase for the championship. And hopefully, it's not a carnage race that we had in yesterday's Busch Series race here at Watkins Glen versus a truck race that was at Sonoma on Friday. That was a calmer race of the two. Vanco Seaman is on the pole position. Seaman has had a tough year so far, 28th in points, still looking for his first win on the season. And alongside of him is Brooklyn Carter in the 5 machine. Brooklyn Carter is one of the drivers trying to stay in the top 30 in the points table. She is a total of 11 points ahead of 30th in the standings. She jumped up to 26th in points after Papyrus last week. J TwoTwo lost a lot of ground in his point lead. He's still the points leader. He is in third. Alongside of him is Kevin Joseph, who jumped up 2 spots to 15th position in the points. As you look at the rest of the starting lineup here at the Glen race, let's go ahead and tell you the top 10 in the points presented by Golden Crowd. Then we'll go over a couple of top story news in that regard. Jacob Tucci is the points leader by 1 point over Cody Smart, 24 points over Josephine Bouvier, who is third. Ben Tennyson is fourth. Betty Johnson round out your top 5. Then it's Jessica Miller, Ashley Horton, Monica Towns, A Crenshaw, and Jerry Harvick, who became another 2-time winner like last week. Hold on a second. All right, let's try that again, as we got another car who's had some issues. Not sure what the 97's doing of Marty Stevens. But everybody is rolling. I'm going to check what's going on with the 97. That's Marty Stevens. I don't think he's going to get to pit road. I think it's going to be a problem. Yeah, he's got an issue. That's not good for Marty Stevens, who comes in this race one of the drivers in the top 30 in the points. As the pace car is off, we'll check up on what's going on with Marty Stevens. He came in this race a total of 10 points back at 30th in the standings, and with him coming to pit road, that's not a good sign. Green flags in the air. We're racing at the GoBowling.com at the Glen. "14 laps of racing here today. Like I said, should be a lot of fun. As we're down the back straightaway, heading for the inner loop. Also, I need to figure out where we're going next week. I said in the Busch race, I forgot where we're going next week. So forgive me on that. And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome here. Vanco Seaman leads the first lap of the race. 97 did cross the line, so that's good. And whatever the issue is with Marty Stevens, he's back going. It's coming on as they enter the inner loop. Now the big question is going to... And apparently in the Busch race, my internet was acting up, so it didn't tell me where we're going next week. Hopefully, it will not be a problem here today. Next week, we're going to head to the next week, we're actually going to head to Martinsville. We're going to have a couple of short track races. We're going to have Martinsville and Richmond for Busch and Winston Cup. That's where we're going next week. Trucks will be off. And then the following week, we head to Texas. Then Bristol, and then the regular season finale, which I'm still trying to figure out where we're going for the regular season finale. I know trucks are going to Daytona. I'll probably have Busch and Winston Cup go to. Busch is going to 8 Bowl. Oh no. I'm sorry. I take that back. Next week we're going to Loudon. I'm sorry. Brain dead. Wow. Next week we go to Loudon, then Richmond, then Martinsville. I forgot we have to go. We are going to Loudon. I forgot. I just realized we go to Loudon next week. Then the following week is Richmond, then Martinsville, Bristol, the night race at Bristol, and then all 3 series will have the regular season finale. The trucks are going to Daytona for the regular season finale. Busch and Winston Cup. I'm still trying to figure out where they're going for their regular season finale. Oh, actually, Busch is going to 8 Bowl. Winston Cup is going to Texas, I think. Yeah, they're going, or no, they're not. They're going to, I'm trying to think where they're going. They're actually going to Ricky for their regular season finale, which will be, I believe, our final restrictor plate race of the year. But I will confirm that when we cross that bridge for the Winston Cup Series. Either that, or no, they're actually going to Mansfield. I'm sorry. So Winston Cup will go to Mansfield for the regular season finale. Busch will go to 8 Bowl. Trucks will go to Daytona. Okay, there we go. We figured it out. Sorry, I'm growing old and all that. Jerry Harvick back here at the rear of the field. And if I look at the points real carefully, Jerry Harvick came into this race 10th in the points. So he had a big cushion ahead of 30th in the standings. I was right. Ben Erickson. He came as race 25th in the points. As my stupid my stupid calculator wanted to derp. He was a total of 23 points ahead of 30th in the standings, and where he's running, that's not where he needs to be. Annie Thomas is looking very unlikely she's going to make the playoffs. She is a total of... She's 37th in the points. She is a total of 48 points back of 30th in the standings, so unless anything happens, I think we can safely say Annie Thomas will not make the playoffs. And this driver here, Zachary Taylor, I'm a little concerned about him. He was 3 points back of 30th in the standings, 31st in the points. And Hannah Smith is 4 points back of 30th in the standings. Zachary Taylor, he needs to start having some better finishes if he wants to have any shot of making the playoffs. And speaking of Hannah Smith, there she is right there in the Lowe's machine. There's Melissa Cooper. Was announced she will not be back in this 43 car next season. Betty Johnson is moving over to this car. There's Brenda Eveling. Ashley Reynolds in the 88 machine. Ashley came in this race 24th in the points. She came in this race 35 points ahead of 30th in the standings. I forgot to change paint scheme for Elena Aurora, but her paint scheme will be at next week's race, so I forgot to change it again. So what happens when I'm recording races at 4 to 5 a.m. and I'm forgetting to change paint schemes? Jesus. GG on me. Ponzo Albanus in the 11. Ponzo is 12th in the points table. So he's more than likely, I think, in a safe position that even if he has a couple of bad results, I don't think it's going to take him out of the top 30 in the point standings. I think the same you can say for Elena Aurora. I think she's safe for good. Cody Smart running in 10th. He is second in the points. There's Brooklyn Carter. Courtney Lynn, this is doing her playoff hopes a lot of good, as Vanko Seaman has led the entire race. We're past the halfway point here in the Go Bowling at the Glen. And we are not too sure what broke on the 97, but whatever the issue was wrong on that car, they did get it fixed. And like I said, Marty Stevens needed a good run today because he came in this race 10 points back of 30th in the standings. And with him running in 40th, this might be putting him in a must-win situation with 5 races left to go. But I'm so happy to so, yeah. Jacob TwoTwo with where he's running in that machine. Of course, I forgot that, like I said, change his paint scheme, so that's on me. Jacob TwoTwo. The way things are looking for that 29 machine, he will keep the points lead, however, heading into next week at Loudon. So, like I said, it is Loudon, Richmond, or no, Loudon, Martinsville, Richmond, Bristol, and then Mansfield. That will be your regular. That will complete the regular season. So for the Winston Cup series. So yay! It'll actually be the first time we've ever gone to Mansfield for the Winston Cups because normally that's for a truck series event, not for the Winston Cuppers. So that's going to be an interesting race. I wonder how will a short track play a factor in the playoff standings. That will be something we're going to have to keep an eye on. And of course, the playoffs will begin at Chicagoland. So that should be a lot of fun. Jacob TwoTwo has not found a way to get around the Nilla Wafers Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet out of Dale Earnhardt Incorporated. Banco Seaman has been outside the top 30 for most of this regular season, but's been slowly working his way to get to the front. Of course, road courses have been his bread and butter. None of the Dale Earnhardt Incorporated cars, or DEI for short, have been to victory lane this season here in the Winston Cup Series. We talked about Joe Gibbs Racing, who won the last 2 races. One at Papyrus and Hillside a couple of weeks ago with Jerry Harvick, while DEI has yet to find victory lane here this season as we're down to 4 laps of racing to go. So maybe they learned something from Joe Gibbs Racing that's really going to help them. And hopefully Vanko Seaman, who's led the entire race so far, if he can hold up Jacob TwoTwo, this could not only get Vanko Seaman into the playoffs, but this could also get him away from 30th in the standings, since he is inside the top 30 in points after all. And so far, we've been clean and green so far, which is a bit surprising. J TwoTwo, who also grew up as a road racer, running in second. So you look at these two drivers here. J TwoTwo, of course, the last ever Monster Energy Series champion, which, of course, that will now go to the Oreo Cup Series for season 3, I want to say. Yeah, I'm going to have to look at that up. And then Vanko Seaman, who's been in GTSRA, moves over to the PCSRA with Lane Aurora and Ponzo Albanus. And by the way, this is the Macedonian driver. Ponzo Albanus is from Italy, and then Elena Aurora is from Spain. So all three of those drivers have good road course experience. And they've really, and especially Vanko Seaman, who's putting up a good fight against former PCSRA champion J TwoTwo, believe it or not. Which I'm really impressed for Seaman to hold off J TwoTwo. And of course, that's the same car number J TwoTwo won in rallying competition, believe it or not, the 29, before he moved over to the 41, which he ended up winning the championship in the last ever Monster Energy Series title on this channel. So you got to think you have two of the best road course racers. That's 1-2, and so far, Vanko Seaman holding off a veteran driver in the PCSRA and J TwoTwo. That's pretty impressive for the PCSRA rookie driver. As we're down to 2 laps of racing to go. And somebody's telling me what I can and can't do, which they need to shut up. Anyway, Vanko Seaman really doing a very good job here. Of course, DEI is still looking for their first win of the year. And the caution is out, so this is going to be the race back to the line. As they almost went the entire race here, so we're gonna have to see what caused the yellows. We're racing back to the the white flag, so this race will end under the yellow. And it looks like Vanko Seaman's gonna win this race here at the Glen. See, Kevin Joseph, Brooklyn Carter's in trouble, and that's Ashley Horton off the track. Not good for Kevin Joseph, who came in this race 15th in the points. Todd Montgomery's back here at the rear of the field, and this is not going to help Murray Stevens. Oh, it looks like Ben Erickson, Jessica Miller, Zachary Taylor. This is not good for Taylor. Riley Anderson, Monica Towns, Luigi Cadet, Bouvier's off, Melissa Cooper. So we have a lot of wrecks we're going to have to look at in this race. So caution's out. We're going to quickly jump back, look at a replay to see what happened, and then we'll come back and see Vanko Seaman take his first win on the season. This is what happened to Brooklyn Carter and Kevin Joseph. This is coming into the inner loop. It's like Brooklyn was trying to break the 16 here. And 16 got loose, and there goes goes Kevin Joseph and Brooklyn, and they're going to go in the gravel pit. And they're going to hit this guardrail here. And then Moore's going to come away, and it looks like the 43 gets involved. That's Melissa Cooper. And there goes Horton. There goes the 99 of Bouvier. There they go. Must have been oil down. There goes Luigi Cadet, Monica Towns. Cadet needed a good run, clips the 10 there just a little bit. There's Jessica Miller, so both the Ray Everhams had trouble. Zachary Taylor got involved. Runs into Jessica Miller a little bit. Todd Montgomery, Riley Anderson did the same thing. So did Ben Erickson as they go through the gravel, picking up all the sand and all that. And then bam, right into the 10. There's where the 41 gets involved. And Marty Stevens going to collect a lot of positions. So that's what brought out the first caution of the race, or the only caution of the race. Let's get you to the checker flag to see Vanko Seaman collect his first win of the year. And we have some drama here. It looks like Vanko Seaman has a problem, and I don't know if he's going to come to pit road or not. And I also noticed another car also in trouble, as these cars are going to get going again. Courtney Lynn's had troubles, and she was in the top 5, and this is going to cost her a lot of positions. Right now, Annie Winters will now move up to 5th. Michael Anderson, Ponzo Albanus, Elena Aurora, and Brenda Evelyn. Now Cody Smart's going to complete the top 10. Hopefully the 15 can make it past the start finish line, because he's led the entire race. I'm not sure why J TwoTwo is not bypassing the 15. And all those cars that got stuck in the gravel trap just got back out on track to finish this lap. And looks like can the 15 make it to the line before the 29? That's going to be the major question. And here we come. Looks like Vanko Seaman's going to make it to the line. I'm not sure why Jacob TwoTwo is slowing down, but Vanko Seaman wins. Unfortunately, Courtney Lynn's going to tumble through the running order, so that sucks for her. Looks like the brake pedal broke, but hey, standings are official, so. Well, you know, if you're going to have brake problems, I'm glad you had it now and not later. So we've given you the top 10. Cody Smart will complete the top 10. And that's going to hurt Courtney Lynn, who is running 5th at the white flag. This is going to cost her a lot of points. Hannah Smith got 13th. Yep, Courtney Lynn's out of the race, but that's going to hurt her in points. Hannah Smith, 13th. Came into this race a total of 4 points back of 30th in the standings. We'll see where 13th is going to situate her. Annie Thomas, 19th. Capitalized on a lot of drivers who had troubles as you look on down through the rest of the finishing results. And all these drivers didn't have good results. Zachary Taylor's going to be in the must-win heading into next week. So that's a tough break for him, and a tough break for a couple of other drivers who had good results. Courtney Lynn, who just got back in the top 30 in points after last week's race at Hillside. I believe this will take her out of the top 30 again. And then 3 cars never saw the checker flag: Brooklyn Carter, Kevin Joseph, and Ashley Horton, all behind the wall. But thank you all for joining me for today's race here at the Glen. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the PCSRA crew today. We showed your full finish results. Your point standings are down the description heading into next week at Loudon, New Hampshire, which will be just Busch and Winston Cup Series coming your way from the Magic Mile. Join us for that. Until then, I've been T signing off. Good night, or good afternoon. Have a good afternoon from here at the Glen. You've been watching yet another broadcast of PCSRA TV, where champions are made for 15 awesome years and the best in racing since 2017.